Hello, everybody. Lily here, and today I've got a special guest with me. I've got Ashley from Friend and Fairy to talk about the new video game Petal Crash out today on Steam, Switch, and PS4. Hi, Ashley.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a friend of the channel on, especially when you've got a new game out to show everybody.
Yeah, I've been working on this game for quite a while and it's finally out, and I'm really anxious about how it's gonna do, but I think it's cool and fun and I hope you will too.
Yeah, I love Petal Crash, which is why I'm doing this special today. So, Ashley and I are going to play a couple versus matches, but since this game is new and is a completely original concept, I'm going to play the tutorial for everyone, just so everyone can kind of get a chance to understand what's going on, because we'd have to explain it anyway, and we might as well let Lilibri explain it.
Yeah, everybody gets to meet Lilibri.
Oh, is it Lilibri?
I've always said Lilibri, but I don't know if any pronunciations are like canonical. If you say Lilibri, that's fine too.
Okay.
I always say Lilibri.
Okay.
Anyway, you push blocks, and they keep going until they hit something. And there's new blocks that are always appearing. And the blocks blow up when you push them into each other and they're the same color.
So, what was the inspiration for that as like a gameplay mechanic? Where did that come from?
It came to me in a vision. Honestly, around a couple months, or around the time I started developing Petal Crash before then, I sort of went on a puzzle game deep dive and played a whole bunch of like Japanese arcade puzzlers I'd never played before. And it just got me thinking about like blocks and mechanics and interactions. And I just had the idea of like, oh, what if there's one where you like push a thing and if it hits the other thing, they blow up and then they push other things outward. And then I just thought, that could be fun, I'll just prototype it tomorrow. And then I went to bed and I woke up and I did a prototype and it turned out to be super fun. Actually.
It's sprang fully formed into your brain in a
Yeah.
miracle of game development.
Yeah, it just was kind of an idea I had going to bed, and I like wrote down some notes about it, and then I made it the next day, and it turned out to be something really with a lot of potential.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm connected to Ashley over Steam Remote Play right now. We're filming this before the game comes out. And we're just going to play a couple two-player versus matches here. And this does have full compatibility with Steam Remote Play. So
Yeah, it actually works great with Steam Remote Play.
yeah, we've done this a bunch before, and it's actually really responsive. We aren't too geographically separated, but I have also played with someone who's completely on the other side of North America from me, and it's been totally fine. Also, don't mind that little blur over in the corner. That's just a hidden character that you're not allowed to know about yet. It's fine. It's fine.
just
You'll find
secrets.
them on your own.
This game has secrets, for the diligent. So look forward to it. So
Do you want to tell us anything about the characters here while we're on Character Select?
Okay, I'll introduce all of them. Okay, so this is Lilibri. She's a fairy scholar. She's very cheerful and enthusiastic. And in her scroll case she keeps on her back, she holds the Sacred Blossom Lily.
Oh, hey, I like those.
The Sacred Blossoms are way cool. What a Sacred Blossom is the story revolves around that there's 7 magical flowers that were once all united together, but as the country of Floria became divided, they also scattered across the land, and there's a legend that whoever gathers them all up again and returns them to the royal garden will get their true wish. So Lilibri found the lily in the pages of an old journal.
Ooh.
Next up is Strelitz. He's a tiefling, he's a child, and he's a self-proclaimed delinquent. His parents are also tieflings, but they're very boring and very like peaceful, and he hates that. He wants to be the king of the underworld.
Oh, he's a
And
baby.
he's just a baby, and he's always coming up with flashy names for his cool attacks, which he's making up constantly. He has the Sacred Blossom Bird of Paradise, which was his hometown's treasure, which he swiped.
Ooh. Crimes.
Next up, we have the Taylor twins, Penny and Deanie. They are humans. They were actually orphaned on the doorstep of an old seamstress's home, and they were raised by her, and now together they run a tailor shop in a bustling market town. Penny is the sister at the front there. She's very bouncy and energetic, and she handles the business end of things, and is always trying like new promotional stunts. Deanie is the brother. He's very timid and shy. He's the one hiding behind Penny there, and he's the one who does most of the complicated sewing. So they have the Sacred Blossom Peony, which was left with them on the doorstep.
Ooh,
And
mysterious.
Their wish is they want to know who their real parents were, their birth parents. Next up we have Orchid. She is a dwarf and a treasure hunter. She mostly just likes to do her own thing. She just always wanders around gathering treasures and artifacts just because she finds it fun. She found the Sacred Blossom Orchid, which is on her necklace, just locked in a box in a mine somewhere. And she just kind of does whatever she feels like. She doesn't even know what to wish for.
I like her. She's very chill.
Yeah, she's the most chilled out of the whole cast. Next up, we have Daze. He is a beastkin, which is basically a human with sort of beastly aspects. And he comes from a city with a yawning wealth gap between the wealthy aristocracy and the common folk, of which he is one of the common folk. So he's just sort of gets by on odd jobs and sort of scrapes together the best kind of living he can and helps people within his meager means. He won the Sacred Blossom Daisy in a bet with somebody, and he wears it as a lapel pin now.
I love him.
He wound up to be a lot of people's surprise favorite.
We stand a woke king.
His wish is that he wants more wealth than all of the aristocracy in his city so that people won't have to suffer for lack of money anymore. Next up, we have Yosoti the dancer. They are a centaur from a long line of dancers, all of whom shared the name Yosoti. And the Sacred Blossom Forget-Me-Not worn in their hair is a family heirloom. They're very famous, very talented and charismatic, and well known all throughout the realm. And their wish is they want to put on an unforgettable performance.
They seem to have been a big fan favorite with the beta testers. Yosoti is very popular.
Oh yes. Funny story about Yosoti in the beta, actually, is that they used to be too powerful. Yosoti had to get nerfed a lot because they were just catching players by surprise, just burying them in garbage.
Too strong.
And lastly, in the main cast, we have Rosalia. She's actually a knight of the Old Kingdom, an elf who is very long-lived. She's centuries old. And she guards the Sacred Blossom Rose in the ruins of the Royal Garden, waiting for those who would challenge her to get her Sacred Blossom and complete the set.
The final boss.
Mm-hmm. She has her own wish as well, which is to see her glorious kingdom from the past restored.
Noble.
And we have a few hidden characters that I don't mind sharing if you want to see them.
Sure, tell me about the hidden characters. Well, aside from the one that we're keeping a secret in the corner.
That one's a secret character.
That's a secret
These
character.
are hidden characters.
Okay, secret characters versus hidden characters. Gotcha.
There is a difference. So our first hidden character is named Libby. This is Libby the Cyber Oryx. She was designed by the artist Tyson Tan as a mascot for the open source office software OpenOffice, or LibreOffice as it's now called, hence the name Libby. But she wasn't accepted as the mascot, so now she's just a public domain character. She is also very cheerful, and she works hard at what she does, and she loves her work too. In the world of Floria, she is like some kind of mysterious hard-light creature from some kind of... Well, we'll see if she gets a story later.
So I saw you selected her by highlighting the Libri first. How did you get to her?
Oh, you hold the costume change button for a moment. So you can see everybody has like multiple costumes.
Okay.
If you hold it on a relevant character, they'll change. For example, Strelitz here will turn into the Baz.
Oh, famous.
You might recognize. Baz is a sort of famous crossover character who was based on a rejected design from Street Fighter 2, so another kind of rejected character in here. He was born on a mountain under a blood moon and commands the power of the storm.
Ooh,
But
spooky.
no matter where he goes, he's always rejected and never finds his place
Aw.
because of his design makes no sense, and he's also not a good person.
So does this mean that Petal Crash is canon to Shovel Knight?
Petal Crash is canon to Shovel Knight. If you follow that chain long enough, then that would make Petal Crash canon to Fortnite.
Thank God.
Okay, and then our last hidden character was an original one made just for Petal Crash. If you highlight Orchid and hold the button, you get Mimi. This is Mimi the Chrysanthemimic. She
Oh, good.
is a ruffian and a monster. And she is terrible and has no redeeming qualities.
I love
just
her
lives-
so much.
She lives to terrorize, especially wandering heroes. Even if wandering heroes going into dungeons isn't as common a thing in Floria as it used to be. She's still out there doing what she loves. So, I think that's enough introductions. We're ready to get started.
All right. Who do you want to play?
I'll be the twins because they're my secret favorite.
All right. I think I'm gonna play Mimi.
Mimi's good. So should we be playing standard rules?
Yeah, let's play standard rules, but you want to talk about the extra rule sets that are in this?
Sure. So Tug of War is the standard rules. This is basically a race to clear blocks. So you clear blocks to score hits, but if you make chain reactions, you also send over garbage blocks to interfere with your opponents. Then there's Trash Attack, which works similarly, except there's no race to clear blocks, it's only garbage attacks, which now appear instantly. The last one is called Clear Contest, which is the opposite. It's only a race to clear blocks with no garbage. But let's do standard rules.
Okay. You also have the ability to customize your own rule set, right? And all of these are
Oh yeah!
basically just
There's
presets
also-
for the custom rules?
Yes, there's also custom rules where you can turn on and off all kinds of settings. I remember I played with a friend who we played basically like lightning round rules where like the garbage was turned all the way up. So whoever got like a good chain first
Oh,
just
man.
automatically won. That was fun.
I see there's a turbo mode setting. What does that do?
Turbo mode makes all of the block animations go twice as fast. So whenever you pull off a long move, it'll be over a lot quicker.
Okay. And then I see there's this cool little setting here. Each player can pick their own block palette. That's pretty cool.
Including colorblind friendly options.
It's very thoughtful. I also like this one. Is there a name for this one?
Yes, this is Yosoti's cookie.
Thank God.
Puzzle fans will spot that reference immediately.
All right, you ready to play a few games and maybe answer a few questions? I've got some prepared, and hopefully I can throw them at you while we're playing and it won't be too distracting.
I'm ready to do both.
All right. So, let's see. I guess one of the most immediately striking things about the game is the Game Boy Color kind of aesthetic. Can you tell us about how you ended up going with that and like what kind of specific maybe Game Boy influences you're drawing on for this?
Absolutely. So, the Game Boy Color look was actually a purely pragmatic decision. I don't really have any particular love for the Game Boy Color look. I like it, but it's not something I'm like a huge, enormous fan of that I would sort of arrive on independently. I made this game mostly by myself, especially in terms of... Oh goodness, that was a big chain. Especially in terms of all the assets, I had to do all the layouts, all the animations, all of the character sprites and everything. So, by making it Game Boy Color style, I was able to do it in lower fidelity. And it was a lot easier to do this game by myself. And it turned out looking really good. Instead of looking like a mediocre arcade game, it looked like a really good Game Boy Color game.
Yeah. Oh, having a bit of a hiccup in the remote play here.
Oh,
Okay.
everything
there we
okay?
Go. Everything's fine.
Good, because I'm about to win. Ha ha ha. Except, not really. I think we're pretty even.
So another thing about the Game Boy Color aesthetic is the music is pretty Game Boy Color, but also kind of a little bit more than that. I guess, can you tell us about the music and the composer and everything?
Absolutely. So the music was composed by Michael Staple, who worked on my last game, Grapple Force Arena. Except Grapple Force Arena's soundtrack was done by a lot of people, but this one was done entirely by him. It's based on the sound chip of the Game Boy Color, which is the same as the Game Boy, in that it has like the same channels and the same limitations, but we actually added on a little extra. It's the Game Boy sound chip, but with 2 sample channels, so that it could sound a little bit fuller, a little bit richer.
So
because
it's still based on the real hardware, but kind of enhanced a little bit.
Exactly, because pure Game Boy chip music can be a little grating after a while.
Right.
So I wanted it to be a little more pleasant to listen to over long periods. And it's really great because we actually, something Michael did is that the sample channels are sort of like compressed as if they were still coming from a Game Boy Color. So it still sounds really authentic. Like there's flute noises, but they sound like little 8-bit flute noises.
Cool. Let's see. So you mentioned Grapple Force Arena. So that was your previous game that came out,
Late 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. December 4th, 2018, I think.
And that was with Galaxy Trail as your publisher, and they published this too, right?
Yeah, Galaxy Trail is the makers of Freedom Planet.
Oh, there I go. It's hard to play this and conduct an interview at the same time.
You'll just have to give me more complicated questions next time. So Galaxy Trail's the publisher. Galaxy Trail Stephen DiGiro, the creator of Freedom Planet, was the associate producer for this and for Grapple Force Arena. We got the Mimi stage theme this time. Yeah, Grapple Force Arena is a game very different from this one. It's a platformer where you can grapple anywhere and grab and throw enemies. And working with Galaxy Trail has been wonderful.
Cool. Let me see if I can reference my interview notes while not immediately just completely dying over here.
Should I wait before setting off this big chain?
Oh, God. Well, don't go easy on me just for the interview's sake.
Okay.
Who doesn't love a little chaos? Ooh, that's a scary... Oh my god!
I offered to wait.
And I refused your generous offer. Alright, I gotta clear out all this garbage.
That's okay, I'll just put more on.
Evil.
The thing is, there's a little bit of counterplay involved, where scoring single matches is good for getting ahead on the bar down there, which determines hits. But if you take the extra time to set up a chain, you can gain a persistent advantage. So there's sort of a risk-reward involved. It's like, do you take the extra time to set up the chains in order to get an advantage later, or do you just try to clear as many blocks as you can quickly in order to score hits? There's strategic depth involved.
Yeah, so speaking of strategic depth, people are gonna want to, like, practice this, so there's, like, a full, like, versus computer story mode to this, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My friend Jill very, very helpfully made some super good versus computer AI. And something unique about this game is that the different characters, there's no mechanical difference between characters, so you can just pick your favorite. But when you fight them as computer opponents, they actually have different personalities.
Oh.
So like I said before, like how there's different...
I'm so dead.
Like I said before about how there's different approaches you can take to winning, the different computer characters actually sort of embody those. For example, the twins Penny and Deanie here will switch every 15 seconds from a very fast, haphazard playstyle to a sort of methodical chain-building focused style.
Oh.
Mimi's personality trait actually is to mimic the personality trait of the character she's fighting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's figured that out yet. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first, folks.
So when you play the story mode, you fight all of the other computer opponents, and you get to see all their personalities, and you try to gather all 7 of the sacred blossoms to make your wish come true. And there is a very good story written by Zach Morrison, who's the author of the webcomic Paranatural.
Oh.
And I was very excited to work with him.
Yeah.
The writing
cool.
turned out very good.
Yeah, I've played through all the stories in this, and it's really fun. Like it's funny. It's got some emotional moments. It's got everything.
It turned out surprisingly heart-wrenching in places, but heart-wrenching in a good way.
Yeah.
Not in a tragic way. This is a very optimistic game, a very positive game.
Yeah.
It's also a very earnest game. It's not just like a parody of itself, which is something I wanted to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Totally.
I can't wait for everybody to play the stories. I can't wait for the coffee shop AUs. If I get a coffee shop AU, it'll be a success.
Oh god. I spent the whole day practicing against the CPU to prepare for this, and it does not show at all, huh?
Well, I spent a lot of time practicing this game while I was making it. So if you pay attention, you can see that there's sort of techniques you can do to put chains together. Building chains around on the edges of the playfield is a pretty strong technique, because when you slide stuff, it keeps going until it hits something, so blocks will accumulate around the edges anyway. That's why you can see the new ones oftentimes generate in the middle. Another thing to do is to sort of recognize chain opportunities from the blocks that have generated already.
Oh, I think I might just be dead over here.
Do you think you have no more clears left? No, you can make... Well...
No, I think I'm just completely done for.
Oh no!
Alright. Well, we'll just call this one. Alright, let's do one more where I'm not trying to interview you through it, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, do you have any more questions before we do that?
I'm looking at my notes, and I think I covered everything that I specifically wanted to ask about, but if there's anything else you want to talk about... Well, actually, no, I see one here. What's next after this comes out? I guess as of the time this video goes up, it'll have come out today, so...
Yeah. I don't know. In terms of what's next after Petal Crash, I have no idea. There's a little bit more in store for Petal Crash, of course. I'm going to be providing updates depending on feedback and depending on what people want. But there's also some more surprises that I'm not quite ready to talk about yet, that I'm very excited about.
Exciting.
But as for what's my next project after Petal Crash is going to be, I have no idea. I have game ideas, of course. Everybody's got a million game ideas, but we'll just have to see.
Well, here's hoping that everybody buys Petal Crash so you can make Petal Crash too. Because I want more Petal Crash.
I do also have ideas for what Petal Crash 2 would look like, including foundational improvements to the game mechanics, which is frustrating because now when I play Petal Crash, all I can think of is oh, I know how I can make this game better.
Isn't that always how it seems to go?
Yeah, but not to say that this game is bad.
Oh no, I love Petal Crash. It's just... Once you put something out in the world, you always see, as soon as it's out there, you're like, oh, I see how I could have done this better. It's a thing about creating.
It's just, all I can see is where it falls short or what I could have done.
But Petal Crash as it is, I completely adore it. I love it so much.
I'm so glad. Something that might be fun to show off before we stop, actually, is there's another secret related to the AI, actually.
Oh yeah? Alright, let's show that after this match, which may or may not be much longer.
Don't give up so soon.
No, I'm doing okay, but that can change in an instant when something like that happens.
To be fair, you were also kind of interviewing me a bit in this one too.
I guess so, yeah. I said I wasn't going to, but...
You couldn't resist.
I could not resist. Oh god, scary, scary. Something that we haven't really talked about is how the garbage back and forth works in versus mode.
Oh yeah. So creating a chain will send garbage, but if you have garbage queued up on the side of your playfield there, you can keep it from dropping by making a single clear. And if you make your own chain, it will actually subtract from the garbage that's incoming before it sends it. So you can actually save a chain to counter garbage that's coming in.
Cool.
If you want, we could play one round of Trash Attack first.
Oh yeah, let's show Trash
mode.
Attack, because that mode is really fun.
Trash Attack is actually my preferred way of playing. But the reason I didn't include it as the primary game mode is because it requires knowledge of chain building, and I wanted the basic game to be accessible to even like the most beginner of players. So in this mode, making single clears doesn't really have any benefit. You have to make chains, and when you make chains, it sends over the garbage instantly. You might have noticed before that the garbage had little spawn indicators like regular blocks do. In this mode, they don't. They just drop right away.
It's very
Another
scary.
thing that's different is that now when you clear garbage, instead of it just disappearing, it actually turns into a colored block. And the color depends on what color you use to clear it. So if you have a lot of garbage on your board in this mode, you can actually turn it into a bunch of regular blocks and counterattack with it if you can dig yourself out.
The CPU is frighteningly good at doing that. Playing this mode against the CPU is scary.
Yeah, the CPU wound up really good at this mode, which is another reason why I didn't make it the primary game mode. I didn't want the game to be too hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's also something that people who were paying attention to the menus might have noticed, is that in addition to the versus two-player mode, there is just like arcade-style play against AI opponents, right?
Yeah, you can also just play against the computer in a custom match.
Yeah, so you don't have to just play the story to play the AI. You can also get it from custom matches.
Yeah, and then you can also try out all of your like weird game mode ideas. I don't have people who will play puzzle games with me in my life, like in person. So it was very important to me to have like a very rich experience for somebody who can only play this on their own. Like a lot of puzzlers made by indie tend to be like really multiplayer focused, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to make sure there was like lots of single player content. Speaking of single player content, there's also a puzzle mode.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that at all.
Yeah, there's a mode where you get a preset board that you have to solve. And there's over 100 puzzles in the game. And they're sort of all distributed between the different characters on their own individual puzzle boards. And the characters each have kind of a vague theme to their puzzles as well that expresses their personality, which I thought was a fun thing to do.
Yeah. And I got distracted thinking about puzzle mode, and there I go.
So in this game mode, Trash Attack, filling the opponent's board is the only way to win. So it's a lot more traditional, like Puyo style versus.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so about that secret with the AI. Now I'm player 1 in this session, so I think I'm gonna have to be the one who shows it. So
You could also go back and let me do it. Like
Okay.
go to the options menu. Go to change inputs.
Oh yeah.
This game supports mouse and touchscreen and keyboard and gamepad. And you can actually even mix and match by like having one player on the gamepad and the other on a mouse or a keyboard. The console versions only have gamepad control, but the Switch version actually lets you switch between using the button controls and also swiping blocks on the touchscreen while you're playing.
Cool.
Yeah, so if you're playing in handheld mode, you can also just poke the blocks and swipe them around, which is fun.
That's really cool.
Okay, so the secret with the AI, this is another secret I'm okay with sharing, is that when you fight the CPU, let's make it Lilibri. You can set the difficulty level from anywhere from 1.0 all the way up to 10.
Oh, so it's like Kirby.
Yeah, it's like Kirby or in Smash Bros, where if you're playing the story mode, it'll go up gradually as you do well, and if you retry, it'll actually go back down. So if you get stuck on an opponent, it'll actually keep getting easier and easier until you can win again.
Dynamic difficulty. Cool.
Yeah. But if you want the biggest score, you gotta try and get the difficulty level as high as you can get it. So always strive for improvement.
Of course.
But, so, the AI is very advanced. It actually has the capability to completely simulate the outcome of moves ahead of time and look several moves ahead. So, these difficulty levels and AI personalities actually are just sort of variously hobbling the AI to like get it to play in a way that is sort of human-like and can be beaten. But we included an Easter egg. If you go to the maximum level and hit right 5 times, you get the skull difficulty.
Ooh.
Now this is the AI completely unfettered. This is the AI at completely max power, and it is not impossible to beat, but it is very, very hard. The current best in the world at Petal Crash can beat this AI, but like 1 time out of 30.
Wow.
So
want to show us? You're still on Trash Attack.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah, let's go back to regular rules. So I last a little bit longer.
Let's see how painful this is.
So yeah, I'm not going to win. Just spoiler alert. So it moves very quickly, but also occasionally thinks ahead to create nightmare chains like that one right away. Oh boy.
And something worth noting is that both players start with the same board layout, right? So you're both starting from the same position. So
there's not much that would.
When the AI gets like a killer combo on you
at
the very beginning, it's not because they got lucky. It's because they are just too powerful. Superhuman.
Superhuman. Oh jeez.
Oh no.
Ah!
Chaos.
It's just a simple chaos.
Oh my god. You're gonna get like overgrown by garbage. Oh, you're done for. You're dead.
I'm dead.
You're actually dead. Wow.
That's the nightmare AI that can't be beaten by normal humans.
I can't wait for when people have developed the meta for this to the point where they actually can beat that.
Me too. If people enjoy this game, I'm really excited to see people get very good at it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try one more time.
Okay.
I'm not gonna win, but I just want to see again if I can last a little bit longer. Okay, we're even right now. Okay, that ended.
Oh no.
That ended immediately. I contemplated having an achievement for beating the skull level AI and decided against it because it is straight up not intended to be beatable. It is just sort of an Easter egg of like, what can the AI do if it is completely unhinged? Completely
unhinged is a pretty good word for this. Oh my god.
Off the rails. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
I think I'm dead.
Yeah, no, you're dead
no,
again
wait,
already.
Wait.
No,
wait.
You're dead.
Hold on. I'm dead.
Oh man.
So, if you were watching me play Petal Crash earlier, I'm like, whoa, I don't see how you could be better at the game than this. You can be a lot better at the game. This game has a very low skill floor, but a very high skill ceiling.
Yeah, that's part of why I love it so much. Like, it's easy to learn and pick up, but you can also just get completely bonkers at it, which is like all the best puzzle games have that in common.
I'm really glad you had fun with it.
Yeah, and actually, because I'm such a big fan of this game and want people to play it, I have purchased from Ashley a pile of codes, and I'm going to be giving those away. The details on that are forthcoming, so please check my Twitter. There will be a link in the description. It's twitter.com/digilily, but I'll put a link for your convenience. So check my Twitter for the details. I'm going to be giving away keys for Steam and for Switch. So check out Twitter for the details on that. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much, Ashley, for being here, and thank you for making Petal Crash. And
thank you so much for having me to your corner of the digital world.
Yeah, and I really hope that Petal Crash is a big success. So everyone, buy Petal Crash early and buy Petal Crash often.
Thank you so much for having me and for showcasing my game.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.